Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry about the change in schedule today. I very much apologize about that. I know I've been going back and forth on the virtual lessons, and it's not helpful. So I really do apologize for that. So let's just get into it today. You had a do now on your Nearpod that I was hoping you would, just to warm up our brains on assessment and our ideas that we have right now around assessment, informed from the textbook reading that I'm hoping we all read. And so you'll do a check-in on the Nearpod. I hope you're doing good today. You know me, I'm always transparent with you, so I'm definitely just kind of off today, and so you'll see that come out probably in my teaching. I'm just a transparent type of teacher, and so I think that there's value in being honest with your students so that you know where I'm coming from today. But it's still going to be a great lesson. Just a few announcements that I want to clarify for you all first. If you need to do Reading Response 5, make sure that you're doing that. But the majority of you don't need to do it because you've already done 4. The case study outline is due on Friday, and so please make sure that your submission for that is the actual chart itself filled out. That's what I'm going to be grading off of, and it'll be a good outline for us both to work off of. And then the 21st will be your actual case study assignment. And so, use the headings from your chart, have an intro, do your heading for developmental theories, write about them in terms of Ricardo and a little description of them, and then do a heading for learning theories, same thing, and then a heading for instructional strategies. It really helps your reader, and it helps you to organize your paper as well. And please don't forget about Chalk and Wire. I saw some of your IRBs come in. Please keep them coming. I really don't want to have to go in search of students for Chalk and Wire. And so if at all possible, try to get that taken care of as soon as possible. And please reach out to me if you need any support during this time, especially with Chalk and Wire. All right. And then I did post the note catcher. I do recommend that you at least take a look at it and jot down the headers on your own paper because they will be helpful today as we go through. And so just one more time, this is the case study outline. You're just thinking about developmental theories and learning and how do they inform each other. So you might have some areas where you're making connections between the development and the learning theories. You're thinking about challenges. That's kind of all like intertwined. You might even do your own section on synthesis and challenges. It's your paper ultimately. So let me know if you have any questions on this. I worked really hard to try to eliminate your final exam and to just have a bigger final case study. And I was that close to getting it approved, and then it was pushed back. So I tried. I really did try. But we'll talk about the final exam. It's not going to be very intensive, and it'll be okay. So don't worry. So we left off on instruction. I hope you were all able to see the video. If you couldn't attend our virtual class, we will have our final virtual class on Thursday together. And I'm really hoping to get more students. We had half, which was great. But if we could all come together, if at all possible, on Thursday, we'll be talking productive classroom culture, which is really like the culminating lesson for this class. And so let's go ahead and dive in. We are thinking about principles of assessment today, the forms and the purposes of assessment, and RSVP, which is a tool we'll discuss that allows us to evaluate our assessments that we implement and want to use. And so assessment obviously is important. This is a part of our instructional design series when we're lesson planning, and we need to know our views on assessment. We need to know different principles and aspects in order to implement the correct assessment for different parts of units and lessons and objectives. And projects and all of these things. So I'm hoping that you're viewing content with a critical eye, and also that you're making connections in this lesson, because there will be a lot, especially in terms of instruction and, identity theories and, just a lot that we've talked about. And so using this do now question as like our start for today, I really wanted you to tap into your own views on assessment. I feel like generally assessment has a pretty negative connotation. And hopefully today we're gonna not, change that, because there are so many different forms of assessment that don't have to take on that negative perception. And so we're starting with a video today that is really an ideal scenario when it comes to assessment. It has all of these beautiful parts to it. I think it shows us what assessment can be versus what assessment is. So it's a great video to watch. And then we're going to just process, reflect. I'll go through some expository instruction. And then I did put in a Kahoot challenge at the end. So we'll see how that goes. And so today we are thinking about assessment in regards to all of these things. How our beliefs inform that, how our objectives are going to inform our assessment. Are we doing formative, summative, performance? How much student voice and ownership are we putting into it? And where does reflection come in on this, right? So we're going to tap into all of this today. And so the first thing, like I said, we're going to watch this really great video, the 5 keys to comprehensive assessment. Comprehensive being, all-encompassing. It's very involved. It's got all of these elements to it that are so crucial. And so we thought about our beliefs about testing. And I want you, as you're watching, to think about how do your beliefs match up with what you see in this video, or mismatch with what you see in this video. I also want you to think what critiques or questions come up from this video. And so just some goals. Hopefully you were able to look at the note catcher, but there were some things I wanted you to, the videos like split up in between these parts. So beliefs about assessment, meaningful goals and measures, formative assessment, summative assessment, performance, and student ownership. And so those were the tenets on the last page too, if you want to take notes based on those sections of the video. So go ahead to the next slide and I'll see you on the other side.